Good evening and welcome to SUTV News for Wednesday, April the 17th. Since the bans were announced 2 weeks ago at Soapstock, the excitement around campus has been nothing less than palpable. Stephen Graves covered Golf Fest for us tonight and has that story.
That's right. This was the biggest concert of the year, and Soap definitely did a great job throwing it together. Golf Fest drew about 1,000 students to the intramural fields, and as expected, headliners Calvin Harris and Lupe Fiasco threw a great show and hyped students up. And luckily, I was there for SUTV for a backstage look to get us all the details. Starting off, the students waited outside the facility to enter the field. Security was on hand to have students before they entered, even breathalyzing some of them. Students were, of course, excited before entering, and we talked to some of them.
I'm so excited.
Who are you most excited to see?
Calvin Harris, easy. Flashback.
Flashback?
This is like a flashback.
I'm excited.
Why?
I love Lupe Fiasco. I do.
Name the song.
The show goes on. I literally listened to that freshman year.
Pretty excited to see Lupe, man. Like, let's go. Here to have a good time. Let's do it.
How much of a Lupe fan are you?
I'm a pretty big Lupe fan, actually. Yeah, believe it or not, he's awesome.
I'm pretty excited. It should be a good show. I'm really excited to see Calvin Harris, but not Lupe Fiasco.
What's your favorite song?
The song he made with Rihanna, I like. I don't know the name of it.
We Found Love?
Yeah, We Found Love.
Now, once the concert began, Lupe Fiasco took the stage singing some of his biggest hits, such as The Show Goes On. Calvin Harris then took the stage with a dazzling light show that had students amazed and shocked. In true Calvin Harris style, he dropped heavy beats for students to jump and rave to. Now, another notable act was King's Foil, who opened for both Calvin and Lupe at Golf Fest. The lead drummer was child star Frankie Muniz, who gave out numerous autographs and pictures to students. Overall, it was a great event for Soap. All the students enjoyed it. Calvin Harris even tweeted to the university thanking them for being a great crowd. Eli?
Thank you, Stephen. And with the city elections over, Stephen Sinema went to the government office building this week and covered the swearing in of the newly elected council members. He has that story for us tonight.
I'm here at the City Council reorganization meeting where Jake Day was just sworn in as the new Salisbury City Council president. Many members of the community came out to City Hall to support him.
Tonight I swore to uphold an oath to defend the Constitution for the second time in my life. And I would only add to that I promise to keep things in perspective. I promise to maintain the excitement of working with my 5 new colleagues. I'm eager. I'm going to continue to be passionate. I'm going to continue to be focused on the things that we talked about during the campaign.
I'm always hopeful when we reorganize the council. I always have the best thoughts and wish them the best. So I'm sure things are going to be going fine. It's going to be hard. It's going to be very hard. But I have confidence that they're going to try their best.
The unanimous vote for the election of the president, vice president tonight is a very good sign that the message that the voters sent a little less than 2 weeks ago was heard by all, heard loud and clear, and that we'll all move forward together and hear each other's ideas and share our thoughts and concerns and figure it out and work to get things done.
I think we're going to put out a message of positivity, of healing, of working together. We're going to institute some new ways of working and of setting our priorities in our agenda. So hopefully that will help to bring healing to the council, bring everyone together, and will hopefully be the council of accomplishment.
The next order of business for the City Council will be going over the city's upcoming budget, and meetings for that will start tomorrow. This is Stephen Sinema with SUTV, signing off.
I sat down with Mr. Day to discuss some of his plans for the city. Should we expect to see votes going in a different way now that it seems like a different set of lines have been drawn?
You know, I still see myself as kind of an outsider to all of this, and perhaps that'll change a bit on Monday. But but maybe that's a perspective that I'll bring and keep on the council. The presumption is, of course, that well, now it's 3-2 the other way, or now it's a group of new people in leadership, and the old group is out. It's not like that. It really isn't, and it can't be. It's important that I communicate to the voters that I say, here's what I would do if you voted for me. And there were lots of people who told me, don't do that. Don't get into specifics. Just talk in generalities. But that's not why That's not why I ran. I ran to get some things done.
And today, federal officials confirmed that on Tuesday, President Obama was mailed a letter that contained ricin. On that same day, mail sent to Mississippi Senator Roger Wicker also tested positive for the deadly poison. And Capitol Hill was again on alert today when there were 3 suspicious packages left in congressional office buildings. While these packages were found to be harmless, no chances are being taken as the nation is still reeling from Monday's attacks on participants at the Boston Marathon. Those attacks, which left 3 dead and 170 injured, were something that we talked to students around campus about.
Well, I'm from Boston, so it hit close to home. Like, all my friends were looking around for them, and it was good to find out that they're like all safe and stuff, but it was definitely like scary as soon as I heard about it. Wanted to make sure they're all good.
I think it's a really bad thing. I really hope it doesn't happen in Salisbury. It's kind of scary to think about the kind of terrorism that's happening in the United States, but I think with the extra precautions that are being taken place, it shouldn't happen again.
I think that's horrible. I'm really like just praying for the families and like everyone that's involved with that, and I just think it's like a big shock of what happened.
And in recognition of Sexual Assault Awareness Month, the university put on Take Back the Night. Kim Newcomb went there and has that story for us tonight. For weeks now, the campus has been buzzing about the Salisbury Crush's Twitter account. Catherine Carmine covers that and news from College Park, UMES, and Towson for this week's edition of Campus Connection.
This week on Campus Connection, we'll be focusing on Towson University, the University of Maryland, and the University of Maryland Eastern Shore. But first, we bring you a story about the spreading of Twitter crushes across campuses in Maryland. Twitter crushes are Twitter accounts that allow students to anonymously give shout-outs to their crushes on campus. We asked students around the Salisbury University campus to give us their opinions about the Salisbury Crushes account.
It's positive. I think they're hilarious. I've seen my name on there a couple times, somewhere I'm like, oh, that could be me. But yeah, I think they're hilarious. I mean, it's definitely a positive thing. You know?
I think it's kind of positive. I've seen my name on there. Definitely made my day a little bit brighter.
Honestly, I think that it could have started with the potential of being positive, but it's turned really negative just because of how explicit it's gotten. I think it's pretty inappropriate and degrading to a lot of people.
I think it's a positive thing. I think everyone should be aware of, people who like them. And plus, it's a compliment when somebody likes you. So I think that is good that we have the Twitter crush thing going on. I think everyone could use that positiveness, especially since the weather is getting nice out,
Although the Salisbury Crushes account has been deleted, these accounts still exist on other campuses. And at Towson University, a professor is currently under investigation after several of his published papers were deemed plagiarized. Benjamin A. Neal, a professor in the Department of Accounting, has been under investigation since mid-March when several of his papers looked to include passages similar to other news sources without any sort of attribution. 4 out of 8 papers that have been investigated have been removed from their respective publications. Although Neal maintains his current work status at the university, he has resigned from his position as chair of the Baltimore City Schools Ethic Panel. And at the University of Maryland, has added a space for students to raise issues and make suggestions on how to improve the campus. The Student Government Association launched a new online forum called What to Fix University of Maryland 2 weeks ago and has already been a hit on Facebook and Twitter. These issues get assigned to different members of the Student Government Association to address. It gives hesitant students an opportunity to speak up about problems anywhere from water leaks to campus safety. The Student Government Association members said they plan to follow through on these suggestions even if they have to keep working on these suggestions and issues past the end of the semester. And at UMES, the Maryland Board of Public Works recently approved the purchase of 365 acres to expand the college's campus. That land will be used for agriculture and natural sciences research at the university. UMES also has plans to construct a new academic building to be completed in the year 2015. The state approved the first installment of money for this project during its 2013 session. This will be an engineering and aviation science building, and it will be the newest classroom building in over a decade. It will house classrooms, labs, and faculty offices, as well as other amenities. This is Catherine Carmine for this week's edition of Campus Connection.
And now we go to Kat Murphy, who brings us this week's sports update.
The Salisbury University men's lacrosse team moved up one spot to break into the top 5 teams in the latest poll. Salisbury won the final 2 Capital Athletic Conference games of its regular season over Wesley College and St. Mary's College this past week. The Seagulls are currently 13-3 and 6-0 in conference play. They will play their final regular season game today as they travel to the number 12 Washington College to compete for the Charles B. Clark Cup. The women's lacrosse team remain at number 2 this week, with Salisbury's next opponent, York College. Salisbury and York will square off today, with the winner having the inside track towards the regular season CAC crown. That game will be played at Seagull Stadium later this evening. The women are undefeated with an overall record of 13-0 and will prepare to face off in the CAC tournament on April 27th. The Salisbury University baseball team fell to number 4 this week and opened the CAC tournament next Tuesday, hosting the 6th-seeded St. Mary's College in the first round of the CAC tournament at 3:30 p.m. The Gulls are 23-6 and 11-4 in conference play. Salisbury University sophomore pitcher Rachel Johnson was named the Capital Athletic Conference Pitcher of the Week for the 6th time this season as she tossed a perfect game in her first of 5 appearances in the circle last week against Wesley College. Salisbury is 30-2 and enters its last week of regular season play with 2 home doubleheaders on Thursday, April 18th. The number 4 Seagulls will take on Gettysburg College before hosting their final regular season contest against CAC rival Frostburg State University on Saturday, April 20th. That's all for SU Sports. This is Kat Murphy for SUTV News.
And in recognition of Sexual Assault Awareness Month, the university put on Take Back the Night. Kim Newcomb went there and has that story for us tonight.
Tonight we're in the Wacomico room of GUC for an event called Take Back the Night. This event is part of the Sexual Assault Awareness Month that is put on by the Campus Against Violence peer educators, the Residence Life Sexual Assault Awareness Team, the Counseling Center, and the Life Crisis Center. During this event, there are performances, personal stories, a candlelight vigil, and a walk around campus.
Well, this is called Take Back the Night, and it's with the Campus Against Violence program, and the event helps raise awareness for Sexual Assault Awareness Month, which is April. We have the Life Crisis Center, we have LGBTQ, and we also have Residence Life and the Campus Against Violence group, as well as Deceptive Cadence performing.
I came out to this event because this directly affects me. I've been coming out for the past 3 years, and hearing the testimonials gave me a lot of strength to get help for my sexual assault, as well as come and perform a poem that I wrote at the next Take Back the Night.
I came out tonight to support my friends and other people that I know have suffered with sexual violence, and although I've never experienced it myself, I know a lot of people have, and it's a tough thing to go through.
I think people shouldn't be ashamed to talk about it, and if it happens to you, you should be able to say something about it and not be afraid of not being believed or anything like that.
I think it helps all of us realize that no one's ever alone and that there is a big support system and that we just have to have courage and be able to speak out.
From the Wacomico room in GUC, this is Kimberly Newcomb for SUTV News.
For tonight's Campus Spotlight, SUTV's John Mertens went to the Director of Career Services to talk about what they offer to SU students.
I'm here in front of Career Services where I sat down with Becca Emery to talk about what they do to try to help students succeed in their college careers and obtain a job when they go to graduate.
What do you do here at Career Services? What services do you guys offer?
Well, Career Services for all students. So starting as a freshman, if you look on our webpage, we have a page for freshmen, second year, third year, and fourth year students. So, you know, things that should happen in a career development way each year. It is true that we sort of tend to focus on freshmen, helping them with their majors and minors and so forth, and then juniors and seniors, internships in your junior year, and then seniors, jobs. So the student graduating in a couple weeks, the best thing they can do, and this seems like a very sort of common sense, piece of advice, but you must tailor your resume to each job. it's very compelling to sit at your computer and just spew out these resumes. You know, I applied for 20 jobs today, you know, but if they're not geared towards that job, if you really don't seriously think about what you have to put in that job and take your generic resume and make it for that job, you will not get noticed.
From GUC, this is John Mertens reporting for SUTV News.
For all of us and for now, this is Eli Modlin from TTC saying thank you and good night.